10 dead in Mariani, including a policeman, in an attack by gangs to control the area. This article is taken from the Haitian newspaper Le Nouvelliste. The gangs of Village de Dieu and Grand Ravine want to extend their tentacles on the National Road number 2, after having occupied certain areas in Martissan by driving out members of the population and members of the armed gang of Tibwa. They are now trying to take control of the Mariani market, where one of the largest slaughterhouses in the country is located. The commune of Carrefour, which since June 1st has paid a heavy price in this war between the two armed groups at the southern entrance to Port-au-Prince, now finds itself sandwiched in this conflict in Martissan and Mariani. The assault by armed gangs from Grand Ravine and Village de Dieu last Friday on Mariani cost the life of Marquesan Bontemps, a young policeman who, in his spare time, used public transport with his tap-tap. Joshua and Jackson, two ordinary citizens of Mariani, were killed in their home by the bandits during the attack. They also killed the manager of the Charbon market, the manager of a service station in the area, a person aged over 70. In total, we recorded 7 deaths, including the policeman, reported Gressier interim executive agent Jean-Vladimir Bertrand. They arrived in the area last Friday using a small boat. They were between 50 and 60 to disembark at Mariani that day. The following day, another boat that wanted to supply them with weapons and ammunition was repelled by the agents of the Coast Guard, commonly known as the Haitian Navy. Gressier's acting executive officer told the newspaper. Thanks to the intervention of the police and the population, these bandits were unable to take control of the slaughterhouse. However, some of them still take refuge today in neighborhoods in Mariani. The police and the population are looking for them, welcomes the interim executive agent of Gressier in an interview granted Monday to the Nouvelliste. So far, we are satisfied with the operations carried out by the police, he rejoiced, stressing that he received the support of the adjacent town halls in the fight against the establishment of this armed group in municipalities such as Legan, Carrefour, and Petit Goave. They sent us reinforcements to fight against the bandits, he said. 6 of the bandits from Mariani were arrested and 3 others killed in the exchange of fire with the police, said the acting executive officer of Gressier. According to what Jean-Vladimir Bertrand explained to the Nouvelliste, these armed groups aim to take control of the Mariani market and the slaughterhouse. They wanted to sandwich the commune of Carrefour to prevent the population of the Great South from using the roads of Saint-Jude and Taras to get to Port-au-Prince, he added. It should be remembered that since June 1st, 2021, the armed groups of Village de Dieu and Grand Ravine have full control of the Martissan Road. Some users are forced to pay bandits to use this section of National Road number 2. To remedy this situation, members of the population use the very poor roads of Saint-Jude, Taras, or Tikaju, which are not controlled by these armed groups. According to another source, this attack on Mariani by armed groups from Village de Dieu and Grand Ravine aims to weaken the Tibwa armed group, with which they have been in conflict since June 1st, 2021. If they manage to take between Fontamara and the commune of Carrefour, they would reduce the room for maneuver and the territory of the armed group of Tibwa, indicated our source. Last month, recalled the interim executive agent of Gressier, these armed groups had already made an attempt to occupy the locality of Tissu, where the market of Mariani is located, an area located between Carrefour and Gressier. They were pushed back and 8 of them were killed, said Jean-Vladimir Bertrand. Already 9 months since the commune of Carrefour and the 4 departments of the Great South suffered the negative effects of the gang war in Martissan, which has become the border between the 4 departments of the Great South, part of the West, and the rest of the country. Since June 1st, 2021, the country has been split into 2 parts. Already 9 months since the authorities deserted the National Road number 2 in Martissan in favor of the armed groups who blackmailed the powder. This war of armed gangs, which has already claimed countless civilian victims, now threatens to suffocate the population of adjacent areas. While the promises of Prime Minister Ariel Henry to regain control of the situation in Martissan remain without effect, this attempt by armed groups to occupy Mariani and the commune of Gressier only worsens the misery of the populations of Carrefour and the Greater South.